President Tinubu presents 27.5 trillion naira 2024 budget of renewed hope to joint National Assembly. Fresh protests hit Kano streets over appeal court's judgment amidst security presence. Supreme Court rules that old and new naira notes will coexist till further notice. On the foreign scene, Israel-Hamas due to release more people amid efforts to extend truce. Hello and welcome to News Updates on Trust TV. My name is Chiamaka Enendu. Thank you for joining in. President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday expressed his desire that the 2024 Appropriations Act come into effect on January the 1st, 2024. The president, who addressed the joint session of the National Assembly in Abuja, charged both arms of government and the legislative arm to assiduously work and conclude with reasonable dispatch the deliberations on the 2024 budget estimate of 27.5 trillion naira. The president presented the 2024 budget proposal before the lawmakers on Wednesday afternoon.
I stand before you to present our budget of renewed hope, a budget which will go further than ever before in cementing macroeconomic stability, reducing the deficit, increasing capital spending, and allocation to reflect the 8 priority areas of this administration. The budget we now present constitutes a foundation upon which we shall erect the future of this great nation. Analyzing prevailing economic environment, economic condition remains challenging both abroad and at home. Despite lingering post-COVID supply and production bottlenecks, armed conflict in various parts of the world, and restrictive monetary policies in major economies, we expect global growth to hover around 3.0% in year 2024. This relative low rate has significant implications for our economy due to our current reliance on importation. The distinguished senators, honorable members, despite the global headwind, the Nigerian economy has proven resilient, maintaining moderate but positive growth over the past 12 months.
And supporters of the new Nigeria People's Party are on the streets of Kano to protest against the outcome of the judgment of the appeal court regarding the state governorship election. The protesters are demanding that the Supreme Court should ensure justice ahead of the ruling. And the protesters believe that the appeal court did not follow due process in making the last concluded judgments, which affirmed Nasiru Gawuna of the All Progressives Congress as the winner of the election. Trust TV's correspondent Idris Jibrin gathered that the protesters are going round the major streets of Kano.
This is peaceful protest. We are here to show our anger with the outcome of the judgment of the appeal court. The appeal court has sacked our governor, the governor that we have voted. So we are here to show our anger. Therefore, we are here till the justice is being prevailed. The constitution gives us the right to do this, and we are doing it, and we know that the government at the top, and we are sure that the Supreme Court judge will do the best. Our specific demand is for our right to be bestowed, our governor to be returned. We have voted for him. All the world knows that he has gotten more than 1 million votes, and that is the democracy. Democracy is the government for the people, by the people, of the people. And we are voted out for, we are voted him, so he should remain in power till 2027.
And in the meantime, the police in Kano State on Wednesday said one person died when 2 rival groups crashed at Kruna Nasabe Fage local government area of the state. The police commissioner, Hussein Gumel, confirmed the incident on Wednesday in Kano, where he said the command deployed its operatives to the scene soon after it received the distress call from a Good Samaritan that two rival groups were having a physical confrontation. He said though the police officers immediately restored normalcy in the area, one person eventually died from the duel. And Gumel urged people in the state to continue with their legitimate businesses without fear, as security agencies were on top of the situation. He, however, reiterated the command's warning on banning unauthorized possessions and political gatherings, amongst others. And the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru, said the ministry will develop more strategies to annihilate terrorism in the northeast region of Nigeria. He said the president is committed to the task of ending insurgency and terrorism in the country. He stated this during an operational tour and assessment at the Malmalari cantonment and other military facilities in Maiduguri. Trust TV's Bitrus Kurutsi has more.
It is the first official operational tour of the Ministers of Defense with service chiefs to Borno State. The ministers and service chiefs are in the state to discuss military strategies that will enhance successive counter-terrorism and offensive operations against insurgency in the northeast region. They visited Giwa Barak and Maimalari cantonment, where they held a closed-door meeting with senior officers of Operation Hadinkai and officers of other formations. The Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru, who addressed journalists after the meeting, said there is need for improvement in the fight against insurgency, adding that the president is committed to ending insecurity in the country.
And we have learned and we have talked, and God's willing, we will develop more strategies to engage more and do more to end the insurgency and terrorism.
How long will that take?
I'm sure in no distant future. Yeah, we are working very hard, and you have seen that things are improving gradually.
The minister also addressed troops of Operation Hadinkai and security agencies at the Malmalari cantonment. He informed them that their welfare and mental and well-being will be prioritized. He added that plans are underway to procure military equipment to enhance their capability in the war against terrorism.
Negotiations are already on for the acquisition of more MRAPs, aircraft, advanced communication system, and other relevant platforms. Recognizing the toll this operation has taken, we are investing in programs to support your physical and mental well-being, because your health is critical for the success of our mission. Continuous training and professional development opportunities are being prioritized to ensure you are well equipped for the evolving challenges of counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency. His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu deemed it essential to include our fallen heroes and families in the recent conditional cash transfer for the federal government, and also deemed it necessary to pay all the outstanding liabilities on the cost of insurance of the fallen heroes and the liabilities therein.
It is expected that the visit of the ministers and service chiefs in the state will yield results in the fight against insurgency in the northeast. Bitrus Kurutsi, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
The Delta State Police Command's Joint Security Outfit, Operation Delta Hawk, has arrested 8 suspected armed robbers in connection with the alleged murder of a policeman, Deputy Superintendent of Police Sunday Okwebo. The deceased, until his death, was attached to the command's X-Squad, where he was shot dead in his apartment by suspected armed robbers on Tuesday. The Delta Police Public Relations Officer, Deputy Superintendent of Police Bright Edafe, confirmed this in a statement. Edafe noted that the suspects have confessed to the murder and he said the Commissioner of Police, Wale Abbas, had commiserated with the family of the late officer and assured them of justice. And the Rivers State High Court, sitting in Port Harcourt, has granted 10 million naira bail to some of the suspects standing trial for the murder of the late divisional police officer of the Adoha Division, SP Bako Angbashim. Among those granted bail are a former chairman of Adoha East Local Government Area, Kasidi Ikegbidi, and a traditional ruler, Eze Ngozi Anugo. They were both granted bail on health grounds. The presiding judge, Justice Sika Henry Aprioku, also granted bail in the sum of 5 million naira to Martins Cassidy, Stanley Amos, Ariomdu Ikedidi, Philip Ordu Good News, and Joyce Ekene. Justice Henry Aprioku, however, ordered that Ikegbidi and Anugu present at Shorty must be at the rank of permanent secretary in the civil service or a traditional ruler from any of the Adoha local government areas. The judge also ordered that the Shorties must sign a bond to always provide both suspects in court for their trial while their international passports be deposited with the court. In the bizarre turn of events, however, a man claiming to be wanted to Baba called in on a local radio program to deny the allegations of being responsible for the death of late SP Abanshim, saying he is a businessman and is being set up. And the Supreme Court on Wednesday ordered that the old 200 naira, 500 naira and 1,000 naira notes should continue to coexist with the new notes till further notice. In March of 2023, the federal government had extended the deadline to phase out old naira notes to the 31st of December 2023. On November the 21st, the federal government had filed an application before the Supreme Court seeking an extension of the deadline. In a fresh application by the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, said due to the prevailing economic crisis, it has not been able to print the volume of new notes that would enable it to phase out old currency notes before the 31st of December. At the court session on Wednesday, the federal government's team led by the AGF moved the application, delivering the judgment. The 7-member panel led by Justice Iyang Okoro said both old and new notes of 200, 500 and 1,000 naira notes should continue to remain legal tender until the federal government puts a process in place for its replacement or redesign after due consultations with relevant stakeholders. And you're watching News Updates on Trust TV. Still to come. Commercial motorcycle operators task members on use of reflective jackets for security reasons. More news when we return. To stay tuned.
Are you interested in the latest news and developments in Nigerian politics, policy, governance and other critical national issues? Look no further than Daily Politics on Trust TV. Our panel of experts and key people in government provide in-depth analysis and commentary on the biggest stories in Nigerian politics.
And 33.3 million Nigerians are suffering from multidimensional poverty. It's a much calmer Buhari than the Buhari who was in the khaki uniform.
Naira to Naira X rate is higher anywhere in the world. The Naira is higher than dollar exchange rate. So you want to change central bank governor you're doing, you must do it fast.
Number of casualties we have had, we shouldn't have had. Security as far as Nigeria is concerned, we have wronged.
From the inner workings of government to the latest on legislation, rule of law, implementation and democracy, we have you covered. Don't miss out on the latest political news and discussion. Tune in to Daily Politics, weekdays on Trust TV, your source for reliable and unbiased coverage of Nigerian politics.
What NAFDAC is doing is making sure we are safeguarding the health of the nation.
80 million people have been accounted for that have glaucoma worldwide.
The Nutrition Society of Nigeria is laying emphasis on exclusive breastfeeding of our babies.
The death of kidney disease in children has also been rising, with an estimated 1 in 10 Nigerian children affected.
And that sometimes those products contain things that could harm you more than you would expect. So you would have long-term damage which could affect your health over time.
Intermittent fasting indeed
is beneficial.
Hello and welcome to Creative Lounge on Trust TV. My name is Ahmed Mohammed Bello and I'm going to be taking you through my journey as an artist.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is News Update on Trust TV. Here's a recap of our major stories. President Tinubu presents 27.5 trillion naira 2024 budget of renewed hope to joint National Assembly. And fresh protest hit Kano Street over appeal court's judgment amidst security presence. And moving on, 11 persons have lost their lives in a fatal motor accident along the Meyama-Koko Road in Kebbi State, police authorities said on Tuesday. The accident, which happened on Monday, involved a DAF trailer with registration number SKK 837X, driven by a yet-to-be-identified driver. Kebbi State Police spokesman Nafiu Abubakar, in a statement, said on board the ill-fated vehicle were 65 passengers, all male from Sokoto State. And besides the passengers, the trailer was also conveying bags of onions, bags of rice, bags of beans, and 6 motorcycles, and traveling from Goronyo local government area of Sokoto to Niger State. And upon receipt of the accident report, Abubakar said a team of traffic policemen from Koko Division was dispatched to the scene and removed the victims to General Hospital Koko, adding that while 11 were confirmed dead, the remaining victims were responding to treatment. And leadership of commercial motorcycle operators in Jigawa has taxed riders on the use of reflective jackets amidst government's ban of all motorcycles between 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. as part of efforts to address insecurity in the state. The chairman, Commercial Motorcycle Association, Abbas Abdulkadri, made the statement while talking to Trust TV at the state capital on development. Adamu Imam reports and completes the report.
Recently, the Jigawa state government has announced the ban of all activities of commercial motorcycles known as Achaba, as well as private users across the state from 10 p.m. Against this background, the leadership of the association reminded their members who are yet to register to come forward and urgently comply with the government directives to avoid being victimized. We are working with security agencies to maintain peace and stability in the state. We have introduced reflective jackets as a way of identifying perpetrators of kidnapping who always use motorcycles as their means of mobility. Security personnel usually visit the areas but can hardly identify who is criminal. That is why we urge our members to quickly distinguish themselves through registration and use of reflective jackets. We are in support of this move by the state government because it is for our own good. In other neighboring states, commercial motorcycles have been banned completely. If they had introduced measures to sensitize the business, maybe they would have still been in operation. Call on our colleagues to accept the ban in good faith because we are the major beneficiaries of these directives. Some residents of Dutse, the state capital, also expressed divergent opinions on the ban, and they are copying.
Please, we are calling on the government if they can try and look into it so that people can be free and do some things before at least 11 days you adjust it. They should start from 11.
To me, I see no reason for government to ban the use of motorcycle from 10 to 6. Seriously, I think there is no reason for that.
Meanwhile, the joint security operatives have already commenced prompt visibility patrol within the state capital to ensure full enforcement of the ban. Adam Imam, Trust TV News.
And Northern Senators Forum has called on the leader of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, and Nigerian President Bola Tinubu to restore electricity supply to Niger Republic. The caucus said that the restriction is bringing untold hardship to the innocent citizens of Niger Republic. The forum, in an address to the media after its meeting at the National Assembly in Abuja, stressed the need for the opening of airports in the country for business purposes, not to suffer citizens because of the coup. And while regretting that the ban on the country is crippling the economic activities of states close to Niger border, the Northern Senators said that Nigeria should respect the Niger-Nigerian Treaty mandate. And this is as they called on the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to lift the political and economic sanctions imposed on it.
It is important that Nigeria should not suffer because of the coup that took place. Just so that we have seen what is happening in Gaza. We urge the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Commander-in-Chief of Nigerian Forces, and of course, the Chairman of ECOWAS, Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu, to, as a matter of humanitarian gesture, restore electricity supply to Niger Republic in line with the Nigeria-Niger Treaty mandates. We therefore call for the attention of Nigerians and Nigerians that we remain brothers, we remain partners, and we remain Africans.
And a high-level delegation from the ECOWAS Commission and the Nigerian government has visited Freetown, Sierra Leone, following a plot by some individuals to acquire arms and disturb the peace and constitutional order of the country. According to a statement by the Commission, the delegation met with President Julius Maada Bio of Sierra Leone. The visiting party comprised the president of the ECOWAS Commission, Omar Aliyu Toure, Nigeria's National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, and the Chief of Defense Military Intelligence, Major General Emmanuel Udiandeye. And the group conveyed a message of solidarity from President Bola Tinubu, who is also the chairman of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government. And away from Nigeria, Hamas and Israel were expected to release more hostages and prisoners on Wednesday, the last day of a prolonged six-day truce in the Gaza Strip conflict, as attention focused on whether mediator Qatar could negotiate another extension. Israeli media, citing the Prime Minister's office, reported that Israel received a list of hostages expected to be released by Hamas on Wednesday. The Prime Minister's office had no immediate comment. Israel has said the truce would be prolonged further provided Hamas continues to free at least 10 Israeli hostages per day. But with fewer women and children still in captivity, keeping the guns quiet beyond Wednesday may require negotiating to free at least some Israeli men for the first time. The Palestinian militant group Hamas freed 12 hostages on Tuesday, bringing the total release since the truce began on Friday to 81, and those who have been mostly Israeli women and children along with foreign citizens. And in sport, Enyimba will hope to extend the unbeaten run in the Nigeria Premier Football League when they host Remo Stars in a rescheduled matchday 5 encounter in Aba on Wednesday. The reigning NPFL champions are on a 3-game winning streak after seeing out Lobby Stars, Bendel Insurance and Heartland respectively. Finidi George's side are 5th on the table, 4 points behind leaders Lobby Stars. Enyimba have netted 4 goals and conceded once in the last 3 games. The Aba Giants will be counting on their defenders to tame the firing power of Remo Stars' attack. Remo Stars have scored 15 goals in the NPFL this season. Daniel Ogunomodede's side will be without forward as Frank Mawena for the encounters. He is sidelined with a knee injury. And Remo Stars failed to beat Doma United at home last weekend, despite creating numerous goal-scoring chances. And with that, we've come to the end of News Update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us on all our social media handles and join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentaries. My name is Chiamaka Nendu. Thank you for watching.